Anybody taking?
Whatever you say is going to be on the record. Torah Or, Megillah Esther, let's go. Beit Tzadik Aleph, second column. Okay, the last thing the Rebbe is explaining, the 18 brachas correspond with the 18 vertebrae, which correspond with the way the mayach, the brain comes, the nerve center comes down into all the levels of the person, and that's called the level of susim. Susim are also letters, whatever. So now he says that what did Haman say? Haman said you should bring this level of levush malchus and all these lofty levels. Haman said to bring. So he says, okay, before that, first paragraph, Tzadik Aleph, second column. And this is what Haman said, bring the horse that the king rides on, in order to have this level of levush malchus and mitzvahs and Torah and all that, it has to be aidei bechinas sus, through the level of sus, which, like he said before, it's tzrufi is a combination of letters. It says like this. What's the ultimate level over here? Bringing down these lofty levels of elokus, levush malchus, and the level of the kesem malchus. And so how do you bring down these levels? This level is good sus asher rochal aval melech. What happens when a king rides a horse? When you ride a horse, you sit down on the horse. So you bring mamshech that level through the level of sus that he explained before, however, is the letters of Torah. And he says there has to be a two of them shachs lamshech girei tzaf lamata kamei lamayla. And he says, Vinei kol b'chinas halalu, all these levels of levush malchus, kesem malchus, sus, and all that is galu gam bepurim b'mei mordechai. Not only was it revealed by Matan Torah, like you said before, it was also revealed in the days of Mordechai. Shos kibla yudam etzesher chayla lasis b'Matan Torah. By Matan Torah, the Eden said Natsav and Ishma, which is Bittul Haratzim. But May Mordechai ve'Esther. And it says what's unique about Purim over Matan Torah. Matan Torah was without Mesiras Nefesh. Kimu ve'kibla Yehudim on Purim was with Mesiras Nefesh. Like Mordechai gathered the kids, learned Torah, whatever. Al Gashay Haman le'Ratzalari galu Yehudim. And this unique part. The Rebbe says Haman only wanted to kill Yehudim. What does Yehudim mean? Commandment. Whoever denies Avodah Zarah is called a Yehudi. Right? Therefore, he's called Mordechai Ish Yehudi, even though he came from Shevet Binyamin. And even the Kohanim, V'Leviim Shebei Sadar are called Yehudim because they have Mesiras Nefesh HaKiddush Hashem V'Lehemeilu Dasam, and they didn't give up their religion L'Achiyesam L'Achiyes Nafshin, to stay alive. Meaning as follows, and this is a big Chiddush that the Rebbe says B'chlal, that in the, like we know in Chanukah was Gzeira on the neshama of the Jew. Therefore, if the Jews would convert Misyavnim, the Hellenists, nothing happened to them. By Purim, the Chazal tell us it was Gzeira on the body of the Jew. Therefore, Haman didn't care. Therefore, Purim, you have a mitzvah of a meal and all that. Here the Rebbe says, what body was the Gzeira on? On those people that were Yehudim. But if the people gave into Avodah Zarah, Haman didn't want to kill them.
So what was the Messiah Nefesh? That for 1 year they didn't,
right. They didn't give in to Haman in any way whatsoever. They could have given in and gotten saved, and they didn't.
For a year.
Right. What's the union of a year? The 4 Avedas. There's a winter Aveda, summer Aveda, spring Aveda, fall Aveda. It's constantly different Avedas. In every Aveda, that's what it says, the expression Chazal, Amdum Mesiras Nefesh Kol Hashana Kula. What's the emphasis Kol Hashana Kula? Every type of Aveda that could possibly be winter, summer, fall, spring, they didn't have Mesiras Nefesh. And therefore, once it, they put him, Zachli is a Gila Bechinas Levush Malchus, the Kesem Malchus, the Suf the Shadachal of Melech. These were all levels that the Yidden attained and put him. How? Like Matan Torah, but Matan Torah was accomplished without Mesiras Nefesh, and Purim was with Mesiras Nefesh. What?
He says this is money also.
No. Not this one.
He says if they would have given up, we wouldn't have done
Not by Purim.
In 127 countries, every single Jew for 1 year
Had told him Mesiras Nefesh. That's why that was the ultimate finalization of Matan Torah, because it had Mesiras Nefesh. Okay, but now the question is, who said this pasuk? Haman. Where did he get this from? What did Achashverosh tell him? Okay, now you have to go and take these things and dress Mordechai. Right, do it to Mordechai. He said, where did Haman get this level of Kedusha that he was the one that did it? As Chazal say, Haman min ha-Torah min ayin. Right, we know the Gemara says, Esther min ha-Torah min ayin, like you quoted before the Maamar. Aster. Mordechai min ha-Torah min ayin, Mordechai is Mordechai in today's parsha. Then the Gemara says, Haman min ha-Torah min ayin. Where do you see Haman in the Chumash? So it says, Hashem asked Adam Rishon, Hamin ha'etz. Did you eat from the tree that I told you not to? Hamin is Haman. But Inyan, what's the Inyan? That's the Gemara, by the way. So the Gemara says that. That Amalek is the beginning of all nations, meaning Shekol Avez Chavim Azos come from Eitz Adas Tevera. All the Goyim come from the level of Eitz Adas Tevera. Amalek Humalamayla Mihem. But Amalek is higher. Reish is Goyim Amalek.
tops them all.
Why? Because all the 7 nations are the 7 Midas. Amalek, the Gemara says, Yodei Asri Beinai Umechavan Limberbei. Amalek was Seichel of Klipa, which is even higher than this. Zeu Haminoitz Bitmiya. That's what it means with a wonder. Shulamayla Memchinas Ha'etz. Hamin Ha'etz. That means, do you come from the tree? That means, no, you're above the tree. That means Haman originates in the source higher than the level of Eitz Adas, which is Mikame Kemachad Chsiv Hamin Ha'etz Afil Lashon Tmiya Yesh Le'akapanim Ksashayches Ha'etz Shem Leikein Lama Meskir Eitz Ha'etz. Mean like this. Al Rebbe is explaining the level of Haman in the source is higher than the Eitz Adas of Tevera, which is the source of Goyim and all that. But the fact that the Torah asks Hamin Ha'etz, that means he's connected to the tree. Again, when you negate something, this shows there's a connection between the two that you have to negate. If there's no connection, there's nothing to negate. The fact that the pasuk says, "Do you come from the tree?" Hamin Ha'etz, do you come from the tree? Shows that there is a connection between Haman and the Eitz. But he's above it. So he says, Shimloik, okay, Ach Inyan, Shubachinas Makiv Lo Eitz, Negeya Ve'ena Negeya. It's about the garments, right? You don't internalize garments. Garments are makifim, but they have to be your size. In other words, as Chassidus use the expression, Negeya Ve'ena Negeya. It's connected to the tree, but it's above the tree, which is the level of chutzpah v'gasas haruach. What was the unique chutzpah of Amalek? Amalek's chutzpah was Yodeas Ribeinei Mechavan Limberbei. Mele, you don't understand the greatness of Hashem and you rebel against Him. That's not chutzpah. That's ignorance. Amalek is Yodeas Ribeinei, which meant Amalek had an understanding of Elokus and yet rebelled against Him. That's chutzpah. You understand the greatness of something and yet rebel against it? That's chutzpah. And that's the klip of Amalek. Like the Gemara says, if you think about it, it was illogical for Amalek to start up with the Jews. The Rashi calls the famous mashal. There's a boiling hot bath Everybody was afraid to start up, to jump into it. Came one Meshuggah that jumped into the thing. He got burnt, but he automatically cooled it off for others. So one second, it says about Amalek, everybody was afraid to start up with the Jews. They came out of Mitzrayim. They had the Makkahs, they had the Kriyas Yam. Everybody came Amalek. That's chutzpah. Chutzpah is not logical.
But I don't see it in the words that he's saying. Because he's close to the tree, there's chutzpah that's chutzpah.
No.
Shaykhs to the tree.
That he said one
It's
thing.
higher than the tree.
Right. But what is that? That's the level of chutzpah. Why is it the level of chutzpah? Because like you say, Yudayas Ribeinu Mechaberim.
I don't see it in the words there.
That's what he's saying. What?
Rabbi, it's natural when a child sees that the parents are favoring another child, they get rebellious.
I don't hear you. What?
When a son or when a child sees that the parents are giving preferential treatment to another child, they get rebellious. Natural, like they feel bad. Why? What's wrong with you? Why are you treating him so nicely? So that's what Amalek's reaction.
Your mashal is your mashal, with all due respect, your mashal is not correct.
Why?
Because when a parent gives preferential treatment to one child, another kid from a different parent and a different thing who's not a child.
Parent from the same parent.
No, banim atam l'Hashem elokechem. Yidden are Hashem's children. The Yidden got preferential treatment because they're Hashem's children. Amalek is not God's child.
But they're all God's creatures.
Banim atam l'Hashem elokechem. The level of relationship of Ben and Av is only by Yidden.
What about 210 years of slavery we had?
No. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
the jealousy can be. My kids can be jealous when you give your kids the better treatment.
His point is all humans should be Hashem's.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. They're not banim atam. They are Hashem's creatures, but not banim atam Hashem elokechem.
But HaKadosh Baruch Hu had Haman in mind from this Hadat.
Yep. 1 minute. Purim is not part of the master plan?
Of course.
Okay, so.
Why would God do that?
Now he says, now Lu'um is the opposite. If there's klip of Haman, there's kedusha of Haman. What's the kedusha of Nikra B'chinas Haman Lacha Abirim? Because the Gemara says, Mebnei Banav Shel Haman Lamdu Torah B'Rabim. The descendants of Haman taught Torah publicly in Bnei Brak. Here it doesn't say, but the Gemara says in Bnei Brak. They're Haman's children, descendants taught Torah. So Haman is the ultimate level of klipa. He personified Amalek, and yet, after you refine Haman, it comes down to that level of ultimate kedusha. And that's what it says. Vayigba liber b'darchei Hashem. About Mashiach it says, Vayigba liber mean he had a like gavoya, like ego, but in darchei Hashem, not chas v'shalom ego, but the pride. Pride is not, there's a big difference between ego and pride. Outwardly it might look the same, but there's a big difference between ego and pride. Chazal say, the Gemara says, when a person davens, you have to have ein of lamata v'liba l'mayla. You have to look down, meaning bittul, but your eyes are to Hashem. What is einayim b'chinas chochma kayach ma? The level of Bina. And it has to be Bechinas Alev, Tzarachlias Lamaila, which is you say to Eish Vatzimoyin, V'teva Eish Lagbir Lalis Lamaila. In other words, something like this. By davening, you need to have the level of Bittul, Einayim, Einei Ha'eda, Moshe Rabbeinu, is the level of Anav Mikol Adam, and yet at the same time, you need to have the level of fire that goes up. Pride. Adam sarach liyas. Klal u'mishneim, a person has to be composed of both. Why? Because im lo yiyah b'chinas hagbar klal, if a person won't have this pride, he'll never come to serve Hashem. He'll think, who am I? I'm worthless. Why should I go serve Hashem?
Shua, feel pride.